Hi journalers, and welcome to a new YouTube video. Today I want to talk about the topic when you are not where you want to be. It's a really hard place to be in, and I get it. Like, what I'm going to say to you is probably not the answer that you expect, but it's one that will make sense further ahead. So my answer to that is, when you are currently in a place where you don't really want to be, trust that there's something that you can learn from that, and trust that in hindsight it will all make sense. I really get it. I've been there many times before, and it's so frustrating, especially when you feel that you're someone who listens to their intuition and you follow intuition and you follow what makes so much sense on, like, in from every single angle that you look at it, and you really feel this curiosity and this joy, and you just follow that, and then still you end up somewhere where you think, right, like, this just doesn't make sense. I'm not feeling at a place where I just feel like I don't belong in this reality that I'm waking up to every day. So I want to say two things to that. The first one is a very practical, advice maybe, or something that has helped me a lot and that I would like to share just from a manifestation perspective and bring in journaling. So make a list in your journal with all the times when you felt out of place, when you felt like you're not at a place where you want to be. Just write it down, remember those moments, and then in a second, like, give it a second glance, and then look at it again and try to see, now with the wisdom that you gathered and now knowing how the dots eventually connected, try to see where it was actually a really good place to be at, and try to see how quickly also everything changed, and what you learned while you were there, because that is what gets you through everything in life, every single setback, that helps you bounce back very quickly. When you trust and when you shift your perspective and when you trust that everything happens for you, and whatever happens, you just reframe immediately. And even if you don't have all the puzzle pieces right now, you trust that it is for something, and later on you will know why. So this exercise is really simple, but it's for you to gain trust and confidence again. So make that list, note down all the times when you felt so incredibly lost, when you felt like, okay, I'm not where I want to be. Make that list and then look at it again, and with all the experiences that you gathered in the meantime, and like knowing what comes next, try to reframe it. See the positive aspects in that, and see what you learned in that situation that made you the person that you are today. So trust that wherever you are right now, there's something for you to learn, and there is an experience, there is a lesson, and you will move on with that lesson. You will, like, literally, this where you are right now, this is preparing you for connecting with your manifestations. And we talked about that in previous videos also, with boundaries. And like I always say, manifesting is you stepping from one level into the next level, or you creating a new normal. So there's always something that we learn. There's always something that we, like an old part that we try to leave behind. There's some habits and thoughts and beliefs, something that we cannot take to the next level. So it's actually, it's good. Like, embrace it. If you are right now at a place where you no longer want to be, celebrate that, because that shows you that you know yourself quite well, that you want more, that you want something different, and that you have this clarity to take a next step. Even if you don't know exactly yet where it's going, you just know, okay, I've outgrown wherever you find yourself right now. And then the other thought that I want to share on that is, especially when you're someone who listens to their intuition. So sometimes, very often actually, we think that when something lasts longer, it is better, or it shows that it was the right decision. But think about it, it's actually not true. And just it happens with people as well. Some people enter your life and you have a few years maybe, and then you outgrow the friendship, or maybe it's a romantic relationship that then, can continue and can't come with you to next chapter. And it's obviously heartbreaking, but instead of thinking, okay, now I failed in love because this was only a few years, or it was only sometimes even like a few weeks, or sometimes it was only a few dates, why not appreciate it? And why not see that as a lesson? And why not see, okay, everything that I was supposed to learn from that situation, I already learned it very quickly, so now I can move on, and now I can go to the next step. Also with places. So sometimes places call you and you love that place, and then after a certain time you just feel, okay, I've experienced everything that there is to experience here. There's just nothing more that this place can give me. It's not that this place is suddenly bad or that you don't like it anymore. It's just that it's no longer your place. And that happens so often with people, with places, with projects, with careers also. I mean, we grow up thinking that at 18 we have to make a decision, knowing what we're going to do for the rest of our lives. But it's not true, because you grow every single day. You get to know yourself better every single day. And it's okay to have different careers. It's so okay to pivot. It's amazing if you're a person with so many curiosities and so many interests, and you have different projects and do different things, and for 5 years you do this, and then for the other 5 years or 3 years you do something else. It's totally fine. What matters is that you are true to yourself and that you pivot when you feel and when you just know that it's no longer a place where you can share your unique set of inner colors. That's why knowing your inner colors is so helpful, because when you are at a place where you no longer want to be, emotionally or physically even, then take out your list with your inner colors and just double check, okay, these are my inner colors. This is what's important to me. These are my priorities, my values, my core characteristics. I want to share them. Which inner color can I not share, or I feel like I have to hide where I am right now? And what would have to happen so that I can really share everything who I am, and that who I am is not only tolerated but is celebrated, and I get the chance to express myself fully. And that is so helpful, because then you can also you have more clarity on the next steps, and you can just put the pieces together, put the dots together, connect them, and take the next step and leap into your next chapter. So again, if you're currently in a situation where you don't want to be, in a chapter maybe, again, place emotionally, whatever that means for you right now, make that list again, just with a situation when it happened before, and then everything that you learned from that, and take that to strengthen your trust, and try to see everything that you can learn right now. Trust that there's a lesson to learn, and try to reframe. Try to see the silver lining. It sounds really cheesy, but try to see something positive that you collect right now in this, at this place where you're at. And then, take out your list with your inner colors, with your core characteristics, your values, priorities, everything that you are, and get a clearer picture what would have to happen so that you can bring in your inner colors and that you can share who you truly are. Right, I'm going to leave it here. I hope this was helpful. Leave me your comments. I'm so looking forward to reading from you, to connecting with you. And I would say, as always, keep creating.